Hello, Mark.
Hi, hello.
Thank you for working with us today. We know that this year you were diagnosed with cancer. Of course, this is very tough news for you, for your family, so please tell us how did you find out about it and how did you cope with this problem?
Okay, well, we had, as you call it, a well-man clinic that focused on prostate cancer back in February. And the key element of that was to go and have a PSA test. So a blood test that tests the PSA level, so your prostate blood count in terms of what's in there. And it's something I thought about for a while, and this probably prompted me to kind of go and do it. When I say prompted me, that was in January. It was probably April by the time, maybe May by the time I went and followed it up. I had the test through my doctor, and sometimes that can be difficult because they don't always allow it. So I guess my position would be if you want to go and have the test, then you need to push them. Some doctors do, some doctors don't, but it's fairly important that you do. So I went and had it done, and mine came back slightly raised. I guess with all the publicity that there's been, they've changed the levels. So the levels used to start at 4.5. They've now dropped it back to 3.5. I think mine was 4.8, so not massively over, but still sufficient for them to go on to the next stage. So yeah, I had the PSA test. That's the starting point, and then it was raised. And then following that, you go and see a consultant at the hospital. They then you go and have an MRI scan, so I have a full body scan, which was probably in May into June. Then if that reveals anything unusual, shall we say, then you go on to have a biopsy. So they take samples from your prostate. In my case, it was, and I think it's the same for them all, it was 6 from the left, 6 from the centre, and 6 from the right hand side, and then they then test that, and if that shows any cancerous cells, then that's when you get the final prognosis.
I see. Did you make any other tests?
No, that's fairly comprehensive in terms of that. Although some people do seem to think that it cannot be fully conclusive. In my case, it was fully conclusive.
How many time did it take to you to understand, to get the results?
I think from the initial blood test to the biopsy and the final prognosis was probably about 2 months. But that's kind of more to do with the time that it takes with the health piece.
I see. And what treatment did you use? Why?
There's a number of options you can have as they put it to you. You could just leave it and they'll monitor it, which is kind of like sitting in a ticking time bomb, I guess. You can treat it with hormone and radiotherapy, which will supposedly suppress it, but not necessarily clear it up altogether. Or you can have surgery, or what they call a radical prostatectomy, which is what I chose. The main reason for that, I guess, is that it clears it up, or it takes away the problem, or should do. If the cancer is contained within the prostate, then the removal of the prostate results in the removal of the cancer in a fairly simple way. So they gave me the second and the third option, and again it's an age thing, so this is quite nice when you get my age for them to tell you that you're young and fit enough to have an operation. That's the right term. So that was kind of what I went for.
And how do you feel now?
Well, I had the operation on the 20th of August. We're now on the 9th of November, so it's kind of 9 weeks, nearly 10 weeks. Still some post-operative issues, but generally speaking, yeah, I'm kind of on the right road. I've had a subsequent blood test to test my PSA level. And that's generally done 6 weeks after the operation. So that was 0.01. They're never going to tell you there's nothing there in case they missed any, any other pieces that aren't there. But yeah, it's kind of I'm on the road to recovery. Probably not quite as quick as I thought it would be, but that's probably just me managing my expectation.
And who supported you during this tough period?
That's an interesting piece. Because I told my two brothers, I told, because I needed them to take me backwards and forwards to the hospital. But my family, my direct family, my wife and my two daughters were having fairly significant aspects of their lives that made a big difference to them. So I probably didn't tell them until about 2 weeks before I was due to have the operation. So I didn't really share that with them. Maybe that's another man thing, I don't know. But as I said, they got fairly significant events in their lives that they needed to get on with. And, you know, there's a great deal you can do about what you've got. It isn't going to change anything. And it's not a lifestyle thing. It's it's just a look of the draw. You know, you kind of mine came down the wrong side, and I ended up having it. But it's nothing to do with how you live your life. It's just that. That's what it is. So my two brothers. My mother still believes I went for hernia operation because I didn't want to kind of cause her any upset either. So she still doesn't know that. But yeah, that's just what it is, I guess. There's nothing you can do to influence it, no, to change it. So you manage it your own way.
But still, what did you do to feel empowered to fight cancer?
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of. I guess you are kind of fairly healthy. You understand where you go with it. You understand what the consequences are. You understand the nature of the operation, and you just get on with it. There's nothing else you can do. You can't. There's a business practice that I've used for quite a while now, from where I was before, called SUMO. It stands for shut up and move on. And basically it means if you can't influence what it is that is happening, if you can't make any impact on it yourself, then you just have to accept it and don't kind of worry about it. And I guess that's what this was. There's nothing I could do about it. It's out of my hands. You put yourself in the hands of very, very capable and very competent consultants and surgeons who know a lot more about it than I do. So you trust and believe in what they do and how they do it. So.
Are you living your life now differently, and why?
Maybe a little bit slower, maybe a little bit more steady, maybe a little bit more focused on my family, maybe a little bit, but no, I won't think I'm kind of living it any differently. I'm just kind of getting back in tune with certainly with the world of work. Surprising how much things change in the 2 months that you've kind of been away. So no, I guess I've been trying to live a more healthy life. The exercise piece is coming back a bit now. I haven't been able to do anything for quite a while. But the key aspect of this is about getting it early enough. And the reason I say that is because, I'll put this down, your prostate's probably about as big as a golf ball, something like that. So I had samples from the left, from the right, and from the centre. So that was, remember that biopsy was in June, the operation was in August. So it's probably 6 to 8 weeks from when I had the biopsy to when I had the operation. And at the point of the biopsy, the cancerous pieces were in the centre. By the time I had the operation, when they took it out and examined it then, it had moved from the centre to start to penetrate the outer wall of the prostate. So that's 6 to 8 weeks. It had moved, half an inch, maybe something like that. So it's all about time. And I delayed doing what I did, but I know lots of people who, even though I've spoken to them, still haven't been and had this test done. Because, as men you think, what you don't know won't hurt you. Well, in this case, this will. So had I delayed it any longer, it would have been out of the prostate and then it's into the rest of your body. And that's when the issues occur. That's when it's in your blood, it's in your lungs, it's in your bones, and it's a different process and a different procedure.
What would you suggest to do other people in advance?
Go and have the test. I'm going to do it now. Don't wait. Don't put things off, because the older you get, the greater the likelihood that it can happen. So if you're 50, there's a 50% chance you get it. If you're 60, there's a 60% chance you get it, and so on. So if you're in or around that age bracket, then, go and do it now. Don't wait. So the MRI scan is not particularly good. The biopsy is not particularly good, but, the cost of not doing it is far, far greater. You can keep the genie in the bottle. Once it's out, you can't put it back in again. So, go and do it now. Don't wait.
Thank you very much for your conversation,
Thanks
for your story. Yes, take care and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.